Hey guys, this is SeetherCord here, and welcome to my newest video for you guys today. Oh my god, this is something I am not ready for. We have reached the deepest point on our iceberg exploration, so let's not waste any more time and dive right into it. The Furry Fandom Iceberg. Level 6 starts out with the Fun Day Paw Pet Show. This is a show that started in 1999 by the very well-known Yappy Sly Fox. The show has very adorable puppets and art designs, but don't let that make you think this is a show for kids. It's been an adult show since the very beginning. It has had its ups and downs, and if you'd like some good cringe material, feel free to look it up for their older content. As for how and where the show is nowadays, they had to deal with a lot of problems around 2017 onward, having to do with Hurricane Irma and then the music copyright issues, along with the death of the original website where they hosted their episodes. They moved to YouTube where they again had some issues, especially because of the cute adorable puppets that would trigger the YouTube Kids algorithm. As a result, from the whole YouTube Kids issue, they were forced to move platforms yet again, and finally found a new home on Twitch, where you can follow their Sunday bi-weekly streams. The show has been going for 20 years almost non-stop, with their only big hiatus being caused by problems completely out of their hands. I recommend that you check it out for shits and giggles. The show is quite funny, to be honest. Walt Disney was the first furry. I digress, because we have proof of Egyptians believing in humans with animal heads as being gods. Though I do believe in the conspiracy theory about Disney naming the Ice Princess movie Frozen to be able to bury the picture of Walt Disney's frozen head very deep down the search results and hide it under the rug. Martin Croaker's Forbidden File. Putting some of you into context here, C. Martin Croaker was an American animator and voice actor. He was best known for having provided the voices of Zorak and Moltar on the animated series Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Since he was also an artist, he commented on his Facebook a few times that he drew art for money. Since he was an artist also, he took commissions, as we call them now, but he didn't post most of it because it was pornographic. Not that many people asked him about it at the time, and then sadly he died before anyone could see his work. This is where the rumors start. Based on some mentions here and there made by close friends and longtime followers, people began speculating, and came to the conclusion that he had a folder where he had all of his not safe for work artwork. Along those was the Forbidden File, an animation he made that was also for the aforementioned topic. Oh, and before I forget, there were these two very similar stories about how he was pretty open about having no limits when it came to his commissions, even going as far as admitting to have drawing scat porn of Tom and Jerry for a client. Sadly, since this artist is not with us anymore, we don't have much to work with here apart from he said, she said. So I'll leave this up for debate. The Rotten Furs. The Rotten Furs group is something that got us very intrigued. This group was for furries who admittedly were into very weird, gruesome, or even just strange kinks. We tried finding the list of possible users who were a part of this page, though only found the creator's page on Fur Affinity. Rotten Raccoon's page is a good enough example to give an idea of the kind of people who might have been in the Rotten Fur group. They openly express throughout their page that they are into hardcore vor, not safe for work cubs, non-consensual sex, poisoning, dismembering, drugging others, and so on. I do very sincerely hope they never took their desires into the real world, because this is too much just to read about. Funny enough though, their group description had the following on it, and I quote, "It is not our intention to bring shame upon the fandom that we love so dearly. We simply are what we are. Most of us are very nice, gentle-hearted furs and all-around nice people. We just have very extreme sexual fetishes that are frowned upon by most of society, and even the furry fandom. We try to keep out of the view of the public, and share our interest only with like-minded furs who are into the same extreme sexual fetishes. We are not out to harm anyone. We are perverts with a conscience. Welcome again to the world of Rotten Furs." How can you say that you're gentle-hearted when your kinks are all about harming others? I get that most of them hid behind their artwork, but you really never know. We should just move on before I get riled up here. The Apathetic Furs was an idea for a joke group suggested by furry artist Brian O'Connell on October 28, 2000. It was made in response to an artist burn fur known as Eric Blumrich's email towards a website's humorous post about the furry fandom. Eric had taken the post seriously when most others saw the humor tint pretty much at face value. O'Connell's idea was to make yet another group to quote-unquote fight back Eric's reaction and also make fun of burn furs in general for taking the fandom too seriously. I would like to add a small mention here about the two people in the fight. O'Connell seems to be having some monetary issues, so I hope you guys don't mind us plugging in his Patreon by leaving the link in the description for you to all go and check it out when you can. And on the other hand, Eric seems to have left the fandom, and instead maybe check out his progress with a new video game he's working on, Peace Island, a game about a cat's life. Rabbits in waistcoats. Yet another one of those terms that we consider should have been somewhere else in this iceberg, because while it may be a bit unknown, our understanding of how the iceberg should work is either the deeper you go, the harder it is to find information about the topic, or the deeper you go, the stranger it gets. But some of the ideas put in this iceberg are neither of those, and we're put very deep into it. Who knows? Maybe we can organize a stream with you all one of these days where we revise this iceberg and give it our own touch, making our own new and improved Furry Fandom Iceberg. Oh yeah, right, the rabbit in waistcoats. It's a term used in literature to refer to stories that have talking animals, but they are not anthropomorphic, but rather look like their real-life counterpart, while wearing clothes and doing things humans would do. They would also not be drawn in a city, but rather have their houses in natural spaces, such as rabbits living in a small village. But everyone lives in their own little tree trunk. This is something you'll normally find in European books for kids, where you have cute little almost realistic bunnies wearing dresses or buttoned shirts, sitting together having some tea in a makeshift home inside of a tree. Some articles we found about this definition describe it as derogatory, but in my opinion saying rabbits in waistcoats doesn't sound like such a term. But who knows? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. One well-known example of this kind of artwork can be found on the Little Bear books and TV show, where while the animals talk, live in their own houses and go to school, their physical appearance is still very close to their real-life counterparts. Ah yes, the very first movie about werewolves. I would have loved to be able to show clips from it, since because of the very low frame rate and quirky makeup art from its time, this movie would have been so much fun to watch for both the artistic side and the cringy, extremely old school special effects they might have had. But it's lost media. This movie was considered destroyed along with many other films from its time due to a fire in 1924. The only things we have still available are a few pictures of the cast that took part in it and the promotional poster. It's hilarious to think that maybe this movie inspired some people to become big fans of werewolves during their time, basically turning them into furries by accident. Well, that was quite short for the 6th level, but hey, we still have the last and 7th level ahead. Let's start with The Man from Ulm. The Man from Ulm, or the Lion Man, is a small sculpture of what looks like a man with a lion-like head, and I quote, "Height 30 centimeters, about 6 meters in diameter. Made of mammoth ivory, found in Germany in 1930, now dated at 40,000 years old. After this artifact was identified, a similar but smaller lion-headed sculpture was found, along with other animal figures and several flutes in another cave in Germany. The enigma is that it is uncertain whether a mythical half-lion, half-human is depicted, or perhaps a magician under a cloak. It is quite interesting to learn about our history and human beings' beliefs in the past. Based on our small research on this matter, they still haven't fully reconstructed this sculpture, since when it was first found, it had been damaged quite a lot because the place where it was buried was part of a World War II fight. It had over 1,000 small pieces, and from time to time, they post their progress with the reconstruction of the Little Lion Man on the Ulm Museum's website. Archaeology is tedious but necessary, don't you think? Dragons fucking cars. Before I explain this one, I have to explain what a paraphilia is. We all have that special interest when it comes to what you like and dislike in bed. But some people go a little bit further than just the typical average vanilla stuff. When you don't get turned on by the regular stuff anymore and need something extra, that's when you might have a paraphilic interest. But don't worry, we all have something out of the norm that turns us on. Some individuals like feet, others like armpits, some even enjoy non-sexual things in a sexual way. For example, they think it's extremely hot if someone has a deep voice or wears glasses or both. Who knows? For example, they think it's extremely hot if someone has a big ass, or they have nice thighs or something, or they have tannish skin, or all three. Who knows? Now, there are things that are totally out of this world, like, say for example, getting it off from art depicting freaking dragons putting their dongs inside of a car. You heard that right. There are people who think it is quite hot to both draw and look at art about dragons fucking cars. There's even a subreddit about this. What? How? I'm so confused right now. Let's just, let's move on to the next one, shall we? Concerned Parents Against the Furry Fandom. This was a Facebook page created with the purpose of sharing shitposts and cringy things related to the furry fandom. Some people took it seriously and thought it was meant to be a real group of alleged Christian parents who were against the fandom, and others saw the satirical side of it right away. I mean, just looking at their banner was enough for us to see it was a joke all along. Being fully honest here, I'm often concerned about how some people in the fandom have this strange tendency to take everything they see on the internet seriously. For real, people, chill. The page is still active though, but the creator has long admitted that the page's purpose was fully humorous and never meant to cause any harm. It's just one more Facebook meme page basically. Everyone was a furry in their childhood. I dare to digress. We tried doing some research thinking that there might have been some sort of article talking about this online, but it really seems like someone's personal opinion. While we all were exposed to cartoons, video games, and other types of entertainment that had talking animals somewhere, not everyone enjoyed this kind of media, and I can totally see other kids not caring at all about certain shows, or even whether or not their favorite show had animals in it or not. Also, I must clarify that just enjoying one show or thing that has talking animals somewhere doesn't automatically mean you are a furry. People decide to become furries just like people who watch anime don't automatically become weeaboos. You decide to become an otaku on your own accord. Though I'm pretty sure the majority of the people watching this video are furries. And if you're not, you will be. Trust me, we all start somewhere. As for the very last item on our list, no, I'm not going to deep dive into ever in any video. I must say though that we have found some research about it, and there have been multiple surveys taking place both online and in furry conventions where there were questions regarding this topic. Based on the results posted, we came to the conclusion that close to 1/7 of the fandom in the United States has answered positively to being into this kink. 1/7! Luckily there is good news here, or at least based on what we have seen in these survey results. The number of zoos in our fandom might be going down. In one of the surveys, we checked the percentage went from 19% to 13% in 3 years. So we are hopeful this number keeps going down and we eventually separate the fandom from the paraphilia. My best guess as to why this is happening is that being a zoo wasn't brought up that often in the past. It was considered some sort of taboo. But with the new waves of furries joining the fandom, this topic has become a bigger issue as of lately. More and more people are bringing attention towards calling out people who have hurt animals in the past and bringing them to justice, which I'm totally for. This topic spread like wildfire, especially with the whole zoo sadist group controversy in Caro's little clown show not so long ago. By the way, I know I have stated this before, but I must say it again. I am not going to make a video responding to Caro. There have been enough people making fun of his ass already. Do send memes my way though. Those are still funny. Anyways guys, that's gonna pretty much wrap up the final installment of our trilogy talking about the Furry Fandom Iceberg. How do you guys feel about the different subjects we talked about in the final levels of the iceberg? How did you guys feel about the Furry Fandom Iceberg overall? Let us know down in the comment section down below. Special thanks to KhramChee for writing the script for today's video. All of their social media will be linked down in the description down below. If you enjoy our content and want to further help out our channel, please consider donating to us on Patreon, as well as our coffee. Remember to smash the like button, turn the notification bell, and subscribe all together. I have been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone. This one, you have to hit the right blocks. You get different points based off of all of them. Whoever gets the most points when you match them up at the end of the timer wins, and it's really broken on the emulator. Oh, God.